What?
Like we're a little loose and fast and loose with our show. You know what I mean?
Too fast, too loose?
Gross.
What?
Too fast, too loose? How do you not...
I was just trying to make a cool Fast and Furious reference.
I think
what were you thinking?
I think you accidentally made a porn parody.
Are we getting demonetized now on YouTube for this?
No, why?
Oh, I don't know.
We can't say the word porn?
Maybe. I'm not sure what they
Dale,
can't.
the internet is not for pornography, okay?
Too much Avenue Q.
This is episode 38 of the DCC. This week, we have the movie news, we have a Marvel moment, we have the 4-on-1 on 1901, and we've got some crazy cool parks news, specifically focusing on Star Wars VR. And I want Josh to tell me all the delicious golden details. I'm sick and tired of seeing all those great photos, doing great Halloween stuff with judgmental people like, I don't know, Corey, and
we've been okay. So I've been doing a lot of great Halloween stuff.
I'm not done the rundown, Josh.
Oh, sorry.
You've ruined it now. You've ruined it. To all who come to this happy place, welcome to the DCC. Hello.
Any fun Halloween stuff that you've done?
I have this Halloween coffee table, or not tablecloth, I guess.
For anybody who's listening on the podcast side of this thing, instead of watching it on YouTube,
they can deduce what a Halloween tablecloth looks like. It's got pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and spiders and stuff.
Okay.
What do you mean? Like, what do you want? It's okay. It's not like when you do a hand motion and you're like, when you're trying to expect everyone to know what you're doing.
Okay, fine.
You were crazy, man. You're like so busy. You're doing all this Halloween stuff. I just got around to watching another one of your video essays. I think your video essay format is my second favorite version of your videos.
What's your first favorite?
Day at Disney.
Okay. I gotta get on those again.
I know, like that kind of seems. I think Day at Disney has the perfect mix of like interview show and fun. It's basically, for me, it's like your own version of carpool karaoke. That I just think you should keep doing those because they're great. And once they start to I think it's one of those, again, with like anything we do. When people start to notice it, I think it'll have a good back.
Do you think, speaking of carpool karaoke, just to rip off this, do you think that when carpool karaoke went from an exclusive James Corden thing on his show to being like, I think it's iTunes that's doing it now, where they're putting like two celebrities in a car, do you think it lost its luster? Because I feel like it did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
like it only needs to be James Corden.
James Corden is the point of it. In a lot of ways, like for me, James Corden is just as important as the guest in carpool karaoke. Yeah. So, for example, have you seen the Conan O'Brien, Tom Cruise?
I have not.
Just driving.
They're just driving.
It's hilarious because, like Tom Cruise, like whatever like you want to say about him and stuff, he is a good sport. Like I don't.
Totally.
Maybe he wasn't at some point in time, but he is now, and he plays it like he's such a pro, and he plays it perfectly. And it's just Conan O'Brien's like, they did the carpool. He's like, and Tom Cruise like, oh yeah, we're gonna do carpool karaoke. He's like, no. He's like, oh okay, cool. We're gonna like go get some coffee and talk about comedy. He's like, no. He's like, whoa. He's like, I thought we just drive, and like they just drive around London, like. Like just driving, it's hilarious. It cracks me up, and see, and like you only get that lens through the host.
Right.
The host is the most important part of any show, Josh. And
okay. That's why I've been hosting 2 a week, and you've been hosting 1 a week.
Well.
But truthfully, I'm starting this coming week not hosting the Friday show.
Yeah, but neither am I, because I gave up those duties to a much better person.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Shannon is the best host that we have.
Yeah, I don't know. Shannon did a great solo episode, and she's like really. Actually, I think sometimes though, because Shannon, and
sure.
I think sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes she talks too fast for me. Like sometimes I can't even follow along. I'm like,
wow.
No, I don't.
Shannon, I think you're a fantastic host. I don't care what Dale says.
She hasn't hosted it. Oh, you're talking about with Explain This Book to Me? Explain This Book to Me. Yeah, she's great. She's great. But the thing, like, again, Shannon always seems so prepared, but that's just really skilled editing, which is good, which is great.
Sure.
Which is great.
Both her and I came very prepared for Animated Devils.
That's not what I've heard. I've heard that you guys wing it.
Yeah, but our preparation of our minds was there.
Oh, okay. Before we get started with the rest of the show, make sure to leave a review on iTunes. We will read it on the show, and you'll feel like you're a part of the show, and that's cool. And also, reviews help us raise our profile on iTunes. We're getting a ton of new listeners on the podcast. People are adding us to their daily routine. So help us grow that community. Please leave a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean. Share an episode on YouTube, right? Share a YouTube video, leave a comment, like, all those things go such a long way for our show, and it'd be a huge help. Josh, I saw Blade Runner 2049. Did you see Blade Runner 2049?
I have not yet. No, I've been so crazy running around to all these Halloween events, like you were saying, that I have not been able to get to the movies. But I've heard some interesting movie news about Disney's Gigantic.
The Movie News Weekly.
Gigantic.
Yeah, it's gone. Good.
Yes, yeah.
I really didn't want it. I like the people who were involved.
We don't need Jack and the Beanstalk.
We don't.
We already did that with Mickey Mouse back in the 40s. Yeah. There's no need to do it again. Here's the thing, though, about Gigantic, which I found really interesting. So at the 2015 D23 Expo, they had the animation panel, and they went through all like the recent movies. They showed trailers and clips and stuff, and then they got to Gigantic, and they said, this is a movie we're working on, we're really excited about it. They showed a little bit of artwork, similar to like a couple of the films they showed at the 2017 D23, right, where they showed like just some artwork, some loose artwork and concepts. That was Gigantic, and they had this huge giant beanstalk running up the middle of the floor on the expo floor. So you would really think that like they were working 4 years ahead of time. They were pre-planning it out, had like this huge display, had all this artwork, and then going into the 2017 showing of D23 Expo, nothing. Yeah. Zero word, no clips, no talk, nothing. Yeah. And I was wondering what it was all about, why. And then, so this isn't really that surprising. This seems like it's been kind of in the works for months.
Yeah, no, it's. I think it's not a great. Like, no one wants to see another Jack and the Beanstalk story. I think it's better to take something again like a Frozen or a Moana, a unique story. It was just going to be white people characters again, like from all the animation.
That's fine. That's fine.
Why?
But
why is that fine?
I don't know. Like, I don't feel like it really matters at this point.
You don't think having racial diversity in Disney princess films matters?
It matters. If you're gonna do if you do a princess film, fine, it matters. Whatever. I would love to see more animal type of films. Personally.
So yeah, you've got to wonder if maybe they're reallocating resources for Zootopia.
Maybe, or just, I feel like if you're going to tell a story, especially in a way that like you're using animals to tell more of like a hard-hitting story, and they've got to believe that Zootopia was like a home run, right? Like, so why wouldn't you try and do something else?
More things like similar? Robin Hood and things like that.
Yeah, like if you.
Yeah, what would like? There's a lot of stories out there that they could tell. I think that they could. I think maybe focus on some Eastern European, some African stories, like lots. I think there's a lot of different things they could do.
Yeah,
I think
we definitely don't get enough African or Middle Eastern stories.
And there's like a crazy city that was built of stone in Africa, like a long time before there were other things being built. And like, you could do Babylon, you could do like Egypt. Has there even been like let's do some Egypt mythology or anything, right? There's so many cool things. So I'm happy. Like, it was like my happiest news. I felt like it looked like a Rapunzel ripoff anyways.
Right.
The people in Rapunzel were working on it instead. And I was not excited about Gigantic, and I was excited about Moana years in advance, and I just wasn't excited about Gigantic. It wasn't there for me. Going back to Blade Runner 2049 though, I gotta tell you, Josh, it's poetry on film.
I want to see it
visually and audibly stunning, just beautiful in every essence. It's not an easy movie to watch all the time, but that's on purpose. I definitely think it'll be nominated for several Academy Awards. I think Ryan Gosling will be nominated. Some people were thinking Harrison Ford should be nominated. I don't know if I agree with that, but I definitely think Ryan Gosling should get a nod. It asks questions I had never thought of.
Do you think though that like this film, we talked about it last week, right? Where this film was not making the box office numbers.
Yeah. Do
you think this is the kind of film that gets slingshotted forward after the Oscars?
Yes. Well, here's the thing. It is not the problem with American news is that it only reports on domestic gross. So domestically, it's only made $60 million.
Right, which is terrible considering.
Yeah, it had a $150 million budget.
Right,
but it's made $158 million worldwide.
Sure, so it's made
more than its money back.
It's in the positive,
and it's gonna click around. It's gonna click at the $15 to $10 million
consistently weekly
for a while. I think it's gonna have legs.
Well, and it's coming out early enough to where it will probably be, if not on like video or streaming services or whatever, like when the Oscars come out, it'll be really close.
Yeah, there might be, again, if it gets nominated, there might be re-releases and things like that. It's a phenomenal film. Even just the technical side of it, the fact that this movie only cost $150 million is like it is,
because it's like all lighting and tricks and stuff, isn't it?
It's really well done. It's gorgeous, and it's the future of the world that was created in Blade Runner, which is so interesting. It's not adjusted. It's not for it now exists in its own sci-fi universe.
It's not like Mad Max where they've kind of redeveloped what the world looks like.
Yeah.
Right, for Fury Road.
Yeah.
In some ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece of film, and it's it's a film that you can just chew on and chew on and chew on. I do want to see Happy Death Day, though. That looks hilariously awesome, and it made quite a bit of money, $26 million, with only a $4 million budget, so that is good as well.
Way to go to Blumhouse Productions and making really cheap... Yeah, here's the thing about like those kinds of films right now, though, is everyone's excited. Like, when you go into October, if you have a horror film, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult, I think, in some ways, to put a film that's not a horror film into theaters in October, leading into like any other month, it would be flip-flopped. Mm-hmm. But October, just people love horror.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to see, that's one thing I'd like to see an animation studio put in development is a Halloween like animated movie. Like, I don't know why the Halloween tree isn't being done. Like, seems kind of like a no-brainer. Like the cartoon that exists now is not great.
Well, the only people that have done horror-ish kinds of children's movies, right, is Henry Selick, who's done all of the stop-motion stuff with Frankenweenie and Coraline and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Maybe that could be something. Maybe like Neil Gaiman and, yeah.
I do. What is your favorite stop motion-y Halloween type movie? Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, Paranorman.
Yeah, Paranorman is really good. Box Trolls is really good.
Hotel Transylvania.
What was that? Was it Day of the Dead or Book of the Dead's also?
Book of Life.
Book of Life. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's but
they've all got a similar look. You know?
I kind of love them for all their own reasons. To be honest, like, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Coraline was really good too, though. But yeah, good source material. What's yours? If you ask, like,
I go back all the time to Corpse Bride. There's something about it that I love, the juxtaposition of like the real world being kind of gray tones and the afterlife being this wonderful, colorful world. And like, I love the music in that film. It's good.
Yeah. But the thing is I have a hard time picking two because I don't think one particularly stands out above the rest either. Like I don't know. I don't think there's enough good family level Halloween stuff. Like even like the Goosebumps movie isn't really Halloween. It's just So, but
missing out on the old like good hocus pocusy kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm excited about Stranger Things coming out on the 27th because it's set during Halloween. That's going to be awesome.
Right,
like it's finally yay. But the thing that I'm even more excited about is this freaking Last Jedi trailer that we did our episode, and then the Last Jedi trailer came out later that night, I think.
Monday. It came out Monday night.
Monday. Oh, the next day, yeah. And in Thanksgiving, Canada. I don't know. I don't even know if this tweet is true, but Donald Trump blasted Justin Trudeau for saying happy Thanksgiving 6 weeks early.
What?
Yeah. Like on, I saw a tweet from Donald Trump that made fun of Justin Trudeau for celebrating Thanksgiving early.
The fact that you can't tell if it's like a real tweet or a fake tweet speaks for itself.
I know. Okay, but did you see that he met the president of the Virgin Islands?
I did.
That was hilarious. He doesn't even know his own dominion.
I mean,
Anyways,
most daily stuff is hilarious unless you really think about it. Then it's depressing.
Well, it's funny for us. And by us, I mean Canadians. I don't know why I always think of Donald Trump when we talk about Star Wars, but the Last Jedi trailer,
Is Donald Trump a big Star Wars fan?
I don't know.
Maybe you're reading into it wrong. Maybe he loves himself.
I think it was because of the Trump supporters saying that The Force Awakens was an allegory for Donald Trump, which spoke volumes about what they thought about Donald Trump more than what we thought about Donald Trump.
I mean, there's a great number of political scenes within the Star Wars films, especially the prequels.
Yeah, no, totally. And again, imperialist Japan. So
yeah.
But the Last Jedi trailer, Josh, stop sidetracking me. I want to know what you think, man. Like
Porgs, bro. That's all I gotta think is Porgs.
About Porgs, you guys. I'm tired of the Porgs and ice crystalline foxes. Oh my god! Like, who cares? I hope they all die. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. I hope
we Kylo just lost at least 5 subscribers when you said Porgs die.
I hope Kylo Ren is just dissecting Porgs and just like that, and like that's why Chewie rescues them, because they're slaves, and he has to rescue these little slave Porgs because Kylo Ren's like going weird on them.
You just lost like now 15 subscribers with your Porg hatred.
Why do you care? Who cares about Porgs? Like, what's the like? You don't even know. You don't even know if you like them. What if like the Porg looks at the camera and is like, Misa Porga? Like.
Then I'm all in. Yeah, 100% all in.
Yeah, then you like them more.
Yeah. Because it's just trolling on everyone.
Yeah.
So real talk though, not just Porg talk.
I'm just kidding. I like the Porgs.
Real talk. I don't know what it is about the person editing trailers for Star Wars. We talked about this before.
They're sadistic.
And like vague, like being too vague loses you on people. Right? And like giving away too much information also loses people like me. I hate knowing too much about a movie going into it. Every freaking Star Wars trailer just gives you enough information to make you care, and then no information at all.
Yeah. It gives you, and it definitely gives you misleading information. So at the end of that trailer, when she's like, Rey's like, I just need someone to show me the way, they try to make it seem like there's an orange light filter here, like on her left, casting on her, so and then when it goes to Kylo and he reaches out, but it could be like, that's the thing, we don't know. And it looks like he totally murderates his mom and blows up the ship.
Yeah, they definitely like added that part in. I'm pretty sure that's not happening, but the way that they edit that together, and it may happen in the film, but it might not happen in that moment that they try and
that's right.
tease us
that's
with.
That's right.
It was so good though. Like, it was really well done. Excellent trailer. Excellent follow up to an excellent teaser trailer.
Yes.
And now I hope that they don't give us another trailer. We're close enough at this point where I just don't want any more info.
Yeah, you're gonna get the TV spots and things like that.
Sure, and you can dissect a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I don't want like really any more information. I did think about this though. So remember, like quite a long time ago, when there were clearly pictures of AT-ATs within the new Star Wars Land ride.
Yes.
Are they really AT-ATs, or are they this new version? And is this world that we're going to be visiting at either Disneyland or Disney World taking place in the 7, 8, 9?
It's both, genre? Actually. So, I'm pretty sure they're. We don't know really, but Star Wars After Dark. Josh Combs, he said that it's going to be like one section is going to be New Order, and so like I think the Millennium Falcon part is going to be New Order, and then the other part is going to be Old Republic.
But what part is this attraction? Because
I don't know. Yeah,
that will be a key.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's interesting. I love that the visuals are amazing. I'm just very excited about this. So excited. Here's how I want to explain this. So in the trailer too, Luke has a great line. I was not scared when I saw this type of raw power before. I know enough to be scared now, kind of thing. Well, now what are the odds that Luke, the last two people he trained, would be the two most powerful in the Force? Why do they have this raw strength, this raw power? Why are they stronger than Luke? Like, why is he afraid of that? Why does this exist? Well, it exists because there's balance in the Force. There's not an imbalance in the Force. So the dark side is just as strong as the light side.
Right. And they're the last two.
So I would like you to think of the Force as like a well. When there were lots of Jedi around, each Jedi had their own like water fountain for the well. And so they were all drinking water, and they only could have as much water as they could get. But Kylo Ren and Rey have this entire well of Force energy and power to pull from. That is why I believe that we're going to get Super Jedi, and we're going to get like, I think Rey is going to be able to go into like Sith Rage mode against Kylo Ren. I think that's going to be happening. Also, wait a minute, that kind of explains how Rey was able to defend herself against Kylo Ren. You mean getting mad about all of these things in the movies before we have a complete understanding or explanation? Like, I think Josh is doing the craziest long yawn or sneeze or something. This is the weirdest thing. I wish you guys could all see. Is this a yawn? That was an entire yawn? You're muted. I can't hear.
I sneezed.
Oh, those were sneezes? Oh.
And I muted myself.
Poor guy.
So that you wouldn't hear it.
Yeah, so that's so distracting.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not all bad. But yeah, so think about the Force that way, like that it's this big well, and that's why they have their power. That's why Rey is special, because really she's the only new light side. If we're gonna use Jedi in the term of light side Force user, sure. Yeah, so very cool, very excited. But what will happen if she does get balanced in the Force and she can pull from both wells?
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Super Jedi. Yeah, so I'm super, super excited about that. I like the tone. It's a lot darker, but like everyone's just not mimicking the same type of darkness. There's just like a maturity to it that I'm really excited about. I feel like The Force Awakens was a darker version of a more serious version of Star Wars in a lot of ways, and I feel like that seriousness is continuing, and I feel like other movie studios are continuing with that. And I want to talk about the new Mutants trailer in our Marvel moment.
Segued.
Okay, Josh, did you see the New Mutants? Funny little story. Shannon messages,
"Hey, did anybody see the New Mutants trailer?"
And it was like, "Yeah, Shannon, it's on our Facebook wall." Anyways,
so this is an X-Men story.
Yes,
but it's not being advertised as X-Men.
No, not yet. Not yet. I think it will come out eventually, be X-Men New Mutants or New Mutants and X-Men story, or
because this has more of a thriller horror element to it, which is picking up on, and this isn't Disney, right? This is Fox, because they own the X-Men
film
stories, but they're picking up on the Disney MCU situation where they're mixing superheroes with other genres to entice people, because we've done so much superhero at this point.
Yeah,
this is something completely new and interesting to me. I really love this trailer.
I love the idea of the trailer, and I love the trailer itself. I'm worried about it being a film that is released into theaters, so the trailer does look very TV. It doesn't even maybe Netflix level, but maybe a little bit below that. That felt like the quality of the trailer wasn't high.
I mean, we both agree, though, right, that X-Men is just a better suited story for television.
Yeah, of course. But little stories like this, or New Mutants, or anthologies, that's great. I'm fine with that. It's just, there's something about the quality of this that I got a little bit of a TV movie vibe from, even though you get, so we're sitting there, and Jude right away is like, "That's the guy from Stranger Things," and I was like, "Yeah," because Jude's been, so we Dash and Jude and Mandy and I watched all of season 1 of Stranger Things again, which I totally recommend. It's not, there's nothing too overly graphic, so I totally recommend it, and it's the perfect amount of scary. Especially if you kids have already seen Goonies and Dark Crystal, or
it's kind of like E.T. scary, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's kind of weird and a little gross, but that's it.
Yeah. Anyway, so they loved it. So Jude's been rewatching episode 1 over and over and over again, and he's obsessively pretending to play Dungeons and Dragons, and he's like, "When can I go play Dungeons and Dragons with Dash?" And so it's pretty cool that way. But so he picked that out, and so he's excited for that because he likes scary stuff. You guys all know this. But I don't know. It looks cool. It looks cool. I'm excited. What I'm most excited about is the risk they're taking, the chance that they're taking.
Right.
Because the budget's going to be hopefully $35 million, which is what that's 35.75. And if they could hit that 35, if they do that 35 million, or within that realm budget, and it's going to be successful no matter what, which is good for everybody involved. That's good for.
Do you think that Fox clearly they're making more X-Men movies because they don't want to give up the rights, right? Because they just don't want to give it up to Disney. But do you think that like they would be better off to give up X-Men after Logan? I feel like Logan was a good ending point, and maybe it was just a good ending point for the Wolverine character, but I felt like overall it was a good ending point for the X-Men series.
No, it's just good for the Wolverine character.
Okay.
X-Men is about the improvement of society, right? So that's always ever present. So yeah, I think it is important to just keep telling X-Men, but in anthology types of stories. I just feel like the X-Men movies, the cast is too big. There's too much stuff going on, and you don't get to spend enough time with the characters. So X-Men are good because of the characters, not because they're mutants and have special powers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Just a thought that, Fox is really kind of holding on for dear life with. I mean, I think they've given up on Fantastic Four. Yeah. So this is really all they've got.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get Disney's gonna get it back eventually. I think it's gonna happen. So
because it is hard to not use the word mutant. Like Disney can't use the word.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's difficult sometimes.
Well, and then you get something like the Inhumans, which, like, talk about the most greatest lack of interest I've ever seen in anything.
Yeah. Well, they've also just, put out too many shows.
Yeah. Been so busy doing your the podcasts and going around Halloween having a blast. So why don't you tell us more about it on 401 on 1901?
Oh. All right, so this past week on 401 and 1901, let's just blaze through it really quickly. I did a podcast with Joe Pardo. We talked about Walt Disney, business strategies, things like that. If you don't know Joe, which you might not if you're just a Disney podcast listener, he hosts a business podcast, and in fact, he won Best Business Podcast Award at the Podcast Awards, which is a big national thing that happens every year, and he hosts the business podcast with Super Joe Pardo and gives business strategies, things like that. Fantastic guy. I had a fun time talking with him, and then we wrapped up Animated Devils. So all 10 episodes are now available to listen over at network1901.com. We wrapped up the whole show, talked about perspectives and character flaws and designs, and how we create villains and how the rest of the society creates villains, things like that. And then over on a YouTube page, speaking of Last Jedi, Shannon just fangirled all over that.
Yeah.
Just all over it.
Yeah. It's been fangirled.
I love her Aladdin reference that Kylo Ren and Rey are just gonna swoop out on a magic carpet, fly over the world, fly throughout the universe. And then
she wants her Reylo. She wants Reylo bad.
She does. And then I put out a brand new video asking about the future of Epcot, the theme park down at Walt Disney World.
So good. Such a beautiful video essay. Your video essays are so good. I love them so much. Everyone should check out this video essay and share it around. It's a new style that we've been doing on the show, and I think it really plays well with our characters and our style. Yeah. So yeah, check out the video essay. It is awesome. Also, I am guessing that next Friday, because are you doing a wrap-up show for...
No. This was the wrap-up show. So your very first episode of
Explain This Book to Me, Ready Player One, is going to be next week. So that is super cool. Shannon and I are having a blast recording these episodes. Little spoiler for you. after Shannon, I was so excited about Ready Player One after the first episode we recorded. I started listening to the audiobook so I could go back and get mad at her for things she missed in the previous.
So you're both explaining this book to me?
No, I don't know about it when she tells me about it. And then I go, and then I listen to the audiobook, so I have more of the details as we're talking.
Okay.
So I'm still fresh for each episode.
So you're basically like she's explaining it to you, and then you're going back and listening to just those chapters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is so good. If you have it, like if you don't have 15 hours to listen to the audiobook, you definitely are going to have 5 hours to listen to explain this book to me about it, and then you're going to be super excited. It is so cool. I love every inch of it. You are going to find out how deep my nerddom goes.
The film comes out in like February, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we're just like super excited that we're doing this, and I'm loving it. We're probably going to do more one-off books as well, and not maybe always just such anthologies because it's so hard to jump in. But right. We were just really, really enjoying Ready Player One, and we nerd out a ton, and yeah, it's because I think when people like, I'm like, oh yeah, I play Dungeons and Dragons, I like to like, oh yeah, sure, and then they'll know
the dungeons run deep in the dragons.
And I'm gonna actually revamp the website. So like when you go, I already revamped the website, so it's easy to go around and click around. Everything is pretty much a picture. There's not a lot of text on the entire page at all. But when you go to the Explain This Book to Me podcast feed, it'll actually be lined up by book now. So you'll be able to click on the book and just jump into that series. So Ready Player One will be a brand new book up.
Yeah, awesome. Sweet. And yeah, and you're going to use like the book cover for it and stuff like that. That's cool. Sweet. That'll be awesome. Super excited. I even think, you know, it's so good, I think we might even give it its own feed because I think it's a good one and we're having a lot of fun doing it. And World That Never Was is going to get its own podcast feed just so we can spread it out there because we know it's hard to find us sometimes, so we're trying to have it a way to be discovery. So it's really exciting it's really exciting on 411. It's really exciting here at 1901. We're having a great time. We're making a lot of new friends, and it's just like going really well, and I'm really happy with everything. So, and it all comes from the support of you guys, the listeners, the viewers, the comments. Like every time someone leaves a comment, it means a ton to me. I'm getting a ton of comments on the Disney animation film eras explained, and I get so many comments on that video still. I love it. Keep it coming. Like if you started listening to the show because you saw that video or one of Josh's videos or one of Shannon's videos, or someone like, thank you so much. Like, mean it to the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you so much. It just means a lot to us, you know. And the more you support us, the more I can convince my wife I need to go down to Disneyland and see Josh, so he doesn't always have to be the one who gives us our parks news update.
We don't really get to talk much about international parks. And I really want to talk about international parks really fast before we jump into, like, I think the main talking point here.
Well, yeah, I want to go to Tokyo Disneyland. Like, I want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah, we all want to go to Tokyo. Like, Tokyo is awesome. And starting this winter, for the first time ever, they have in their other park, Disney Sea. So there's Tokyo Disneyland and there's Tokyo Disney Sea. And in the Tokyo Disney Sea, there's the American waterfront area, which is like kind of the birthplace of Duffy. So if you know the Duffy bear or have seen him around the Disney parks, he's a little teddy bear. His paw prints have like the hidden Mickey on them. There's definitely been, I think, 5 characters now that they've come out with from Duffy. There's Duffy, Shelly May, Stella Lou, Tippy Blue, and I can't remember the other one. Anyways,
dropping the ball, man.
I know. But all of these characters are going to have a big festival, I believe, from January through March for the winter in Tokyo.
Gelatoni and Stella Lou.
Stella Lou, Gelatoni, yes. Those characters are all going to have a festival going on over at Tokyo Disney Sea. Super stoked. Over at Disneyland, we're seeing a lot of that culture from Tokyo steep in to Disneyland. So yeah, definitely they don't sell any of this stuff, but you're seeing a lot of people who have been to Tokyo or are from Tokyo come over, and there's almost like a status that goes with having a Duffy purse or a Duffy shirt or something like that. Like there's definitely like you're in the cool crowd if you have one of those at Disneyland.
Oh, cool. So let's go to Tokyo
and get a gelatoni something. Yeah, so
we got to pick our alignments cool. now.
Well, and especially since like meeting Duffy is now gone away, that they don't have Duffy meet and greets at the national Disney parks here, the domestic Disney parks. They're only at Tokyo Disney. But at the domestic parks, the big, huge news going on this week, Downtown Disney at Disneyland is getting this huge revamp. Actually, they just closed Vault 28, which was kind of like the women's boutique store. They opened up a dress store down the way, and they closed Fossil. And in that space is going to be a brand new Star Wars VR experience. They're also going to have that at Disney World's Disney Springs. And this experience, they announced a little bit more. They dropped a teaser trailer for it. This experience is going to take us into the world of Rogue One. And we are going to, I believe, have to help with stealing the plans.
Oh, and cool.
So we are disguised as stormtroopers, and we're wandering around the Death Star. So
fun. That's
cool. We don't have lightsabers. No. I think everybody thought
no.
Like VR lightsaber, but we do have guns.
Yeah.
And you'll be going around, and the cool thing about this is that there's a possible ability to change the VR as time goes on. So we've done Rogue One this time. Possibly when like the Han Solo film comes out.
Yeah.
They might be able to change the story then. Yeah. But the great thing about this is it launches in January, and for the experience, the price tag is $29.95 a person.
That is,
which I don't think is bad at all.
No, I think it's going to be like it's an experience unlike any other. I don't think we need a lightsaber VR. Like I don't want a lightsaber VR. I want a lightsaber that works. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah. But I do. But for VR, I want to be more. I want an immersive world, right? Because if it was a lightsaber Star Wars VR, it would have been a battle. It would have been fighting,
right?
And I don't want that. I want to wander around the Star Wars universe. So it's perfect. I'm so excited. Give me my ticket. Are you going? Have you bought tickets yet?
I haven't bought tickets yet. They are selling them, and they're selling pretty quickly. The day one that it dropped, I believe the first few days already sold out or were really close to selling out. But this is another great point.
I guess there's going to be a lot of vlogs on there, hey?
Probably. And I believe this experience opens at 8 a.m.
And
it closes at midnight.
Yeah. Why do we have you at Disneyland if you're not going to these things opening day?
I probably will. I did go to Guardians opening day.
Yeah.
And I probably
you're not going to be able to experience it. I guess you could ask people what their time was like.
Maybe so. But we'll be doing more stuff with it, and we'll also probably be doing more because Downtown Disney at Disneyland this Christmas winter season, they'll also be opening up a brand new bowling alley.
With like lightsaber balls and stuff?
No. I don't think lightsaber
Is the bowling
balls.
alley going where the Build-A-Bear was?
It's going where the House of Blues was, right next to Build-A-Bear.
Otis. Okay. Interesting.
And then there's going to be some new restaurant that goes into where Build-A-Bear is. We're not sure on that one though yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But lots of exciting news. VR. Are you excited for VR content?
Yeah, totally. I think that's crazy. It's going to be awesome. Like it sounds like it's being done really well. So yeah, who wouldn't want that? I'm excited.
Do you think this is what they should have more in like Disney Springs or Downtown Disney, where it's not just shopping and restaurants, but it's also more one-off experiences?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think, what it does, what's clever, is if you give a few of those experiences, you probably extend people's day, but not at the park at downtown Disney. So, they're there, but you could spend a day kind of just like, hey, let's have an easy day today. Maybe go to the pool. I got tickets to the VR thing. Maybe catch a movie, go to the Jazz Kitchen, and then, Bob's your uncle, right? So I think it's important for them to have as many experiences like that as possible at Disneyland, because you can exit the world so easily that, being able to go to Trader Sam's, having that be an experience, that's huge. Being able to go to downtown Disney and exploring all these cool things, huge, right? You don't have to, so it's
well,
great.
And as for locals, like at California or in Florida, it's another, we all have annual passes, or even if you don't have an annual pass, you can at least go to downtown Disney or Disney Springs and shop around, but you may not be willing to, drop a big chunk of change on a ticket to the park. This is another way for them to make cash on locals as well.
Yeah.
So
totally. Haha, APs.
Right. Yeah, we got you again.
And also a little extra parks news, because they are from the park mostly and stuff. But Thingamavlogs signs off, so there's no more Thingamavlogs.
Nope.
No, they're done.
So come hang out with us.
They all parted ways. That's not what I'm saying, but that's a big deal. They're
Sure.
They were
big for this community.
They were big for the community. They're big for me. They started right when I started getting into knowing that there were YouTube videos for people at Disneyland. They started the next week. I wrote an article about them for the DCast. They were big for me, and it is kind of end of an era, I think. But I wish them all well, on their individual endeavors, and having a group of people and running a team is hard. You have to be able to, I don't know, it's hard. It is hard. So they held together for a really long time, and they had ups and downs, and you gotta give them all the credit due. They were a great channel, and sad to see them go, but they're all there on their individual channels. So yeah, I don't know. Josh has no comment apparently.
I mean, I said it, they were influential in this community. They were big in this community, and a lot of those people from the channel still will be, just in a different way. But there are a lot of other channels out there too that I think people should get really interested in. And if you're, don't give up on this community, because there are a lot of cool people involved in it besides just those 4 people.
Yeah, totally. Well, with that, this has been episode 38 of the DCC. I am your man at Dale Wentland. He is at Modern Mouse Josh.
I'm not the man?
No.
Oh.
There can only be one man. It's like wearing fedora. You could be the fedora guy, I'll be the man.
Sounds awful.
But it works.
Okay.
This has been episode 38 of the DCC. You can catch us on at Network 1901, network1901.com. You can support us on Patreon. Give us $1. That'd be sweet. It helps us buy new equipment. Maybe we can get some soundproofing. Things like that. It really helps out. And review, share, all that stuff. Comment down below. Really appreciate it. Josh, you're amazing. You're doing amazing things. Check out the YouTube channel, everybody. Support Josh. He's at Modern Mouse Josh. And I will see you in a galaxy far, far away. Bye, double hand wave.
Keep on moving, people.